Good morning, everybody. It's Cowboy here, 8:30 a.m. EST. We may or may not see the Guerilla today. He had a personal matter yesterday, and personal matters. So let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. We had some news just come out. Some economic data just dropped. So now that it has dropped, I don't mind taking a look at some trades, and I would take this one anyway. It's a high time frame trade. It's what I've been talking about all week long, and now it appears to have done what I thought it would do. It broke above this structure. It's now in between these two structures, and it has done on a lower time frame what I drew here on these arrows, right? So if you take a look, you see price broke above resistance, right? Came back down. It's on a lower time frame, so we'll draw this out on a lower time frame, but it came back down, grabbed that support on this doji candle here, right there, came back down, grabbed support. So if I were to draw this really how it went, it happened sooner than I thought, or at least sooner than I drew, and now it's on its way back up. And it did break above. So had I been paying attention, the time to enter would have been back here. The stop loss would still be fine. It would be in play. So I'm comfortable entering this trade right now and relying on the original stop loss as it was. I put it to be a little lower than these wicks right here. So I am going to go ahead and enter this trade. So we'll just hold on a moment while I do that here. Okay. Okay, and let's see. I'm going to set up my take profit here below this next resistance, right? So we'll do about 69,750 or so. And we're off. Plus, the news did just give it a little bit of a boost. So I'm going to correct this here for the entry, because I would have ended up there had I been watching it, whatever time of day that happened, but I was not doing that. So now the trade is live. Let me go ahead and add a couple of alerts here. You can add alerts without putting lines in a chart with TradingView, but I like to have the lines because when I delete those lines, those alerts go away, and sometimes those alerts are no longer no longer valid or no longer needed. And it's nice to be able to just kind of erase drawings and erase alerts. Just a little TradingView hack for you. And of course, as price pulls back, it might give me some nice little re-entries on the way up. Some little kind of scalpy type positions, or, building a position, if you will. It's a great way to do it. And, Algo Factory members will see that as it goes down. So here's our trade here. Trade is live for me. And again, it's not for you to take, it's for you to understand. And of course, if your own research matches what I've done here, then you can feel free to take a similar trade. But again, this is all got to be based on your own research. Okay, so we're in. Great. All right. Well, I don't have any questions yet in the comments, so I'm just going to start going through the chart. Yeah, break the ice. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Good to have you in. Good to have you in here. Look, just a quick comment on these live shows. We may be reducing them or even taking them away entirely. The crowd doesn't seem to be growing, unfortunately. So, I mean, if you want to keep these live shows around, go ahead and spread our link, tell people about it, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And that would help out, like on the YouTube algos, and, get people involved. But, unless we see a huge surge in them, we're either going to take them away entirely or like reduce them to 1 day a week, whatever it is. If that's the case and you really like our content, just come to Algo Factory, subscribe. AlgoFactory.tech, SAP QR code, top right-hand corner, all that sort of thing. And let's move on into the news data and see what was said. Okay, so we had the core PCE price index month over month. Okay, so that is an inflation metric. And some look at that, believe it or not, more than the CPI. I think someone said that this is the Fed's favorite one, and you're looking at a reduction in inflation, right? So a little bit of disinflation, if you will, right? Still inflating, but not quite as fast, and a little below the estimate. Estimate was at 0.2%. We ended up at 0.1. That's month over month. So that said, that's going to probably push prices on things up because it was less inflation than expected, I should say. And that would lead the market to believe that more cuts are coming. And the market just believes that anyway. So, pretty much everybody I think is of the opinion like, okay, we saw a jumbo cut for the US interest rate in September. Other countries will follow suit. They were already cutting. And we're probably going to see more cuts because that's just what they need to do. And this is the reality, folks. Just going to let you know a little strong dose of reality. The elites of the world, the banks, the elites who run the banks, and the elites, and I hate to say it, but I don't really hate to say it, the elites who use the banks to siphon money off of the public through the way that fiat money is created, the quiet tax that is inflation, through fiat money printing, through unbacked money printing. And we're talking about money that is just like nobody's stopping it from happening. Nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody cares. So because the citizenry is pretty much asleep at the wheel, and because this is allowed to happen in the way that it is, and mostly the spending and the printing itself is not as bad of a thing as the spending, the unbridled spending, the deficit spending that is just allowed to happen at a government level that nobody wants to stop. That it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, they're all the same. They don't care. And as long as that continues, there's going to be a quiet tax on the public, and it's called inflation. And they need that tax because the elites of the world tax you in that manner. It's a tax that you don't know is going on. And if you're smart, there's nothing really we can do to stop it unless everybody becomes awake. And judging by the state of the U.S. education system and elsewhere, I don't think anybody's going to wake up anytime soon. I hate to say it. I don't think enough people are going to wake up. A lot of people wake up in droves, but then you have all the other idiots out there that just, drink it up and lap it up and they just believe everything. And so long story short, unless that gets fixed, then the way to survive financially is to play like the elites do and to own assets that will grow faster than the dollar, right? Grow faster than inflation, as a matter of fact, because the real inflation, some think is around 10, 12%, even though we're told it's around 2 or whatever it is. The real inflation is take a look at prices. Take a look at house prices, take a look at gas prices, take a look at food prices in particular, and you'll see what the real inflation rate is. And if you want to grow, if you want to survive in this world, we can see that wages are not increasing at that rate, right? So if you're working and you're having a living wage and your wages are not keeping up with inflation, your wages are not paying for what they used to pay for. Bread and milk cost more, but your wages are not going up to match that. Then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to either make more money and you're going to have to invest in things that appreciate faster than inflation. There are many things. Gold is a great one, in my opinion, not an investment advice. Bitcoin seems to, well, so far it has been a wonderful version of that. Bitcoin's been killing it over the past 10 years. Nothing has performed as well as it in this regard. A lot of stocks. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And over at Algo Factory, we talk about a lot of this stuff. Morning data with Dan. So we have about a minute left. I'm going to go ahead and just fire up over in the private live lab. Does anybody have anything they want to see before I move over? Before I get done with just kind of telling people how it is out there. Does anybody have any charts they want to see? Because if I don't hear anything, I'm going to go ahead and fire it up in the private live lab. I'm fired it up anyway, but I'm going to have to end the live lab here. And remember, this live lab, if I don't get a lot of people out, if I don't see this growing in the next couple of weeks, if I don't see more people coming in, more people asking questions, then nobody's being served. And if nobody's being served, then this is just not really worth my time, right? So we're going to have to possibly get rid of this unless I see a lot of action here in the private live lab. So if you are in the public live lab. So if you all want this public live lab to continue, then please spread the word. And if you like the public live lab and you miss it because we take it away, or you want a deeper version of it where we go for another 50 minutes every day and soon to be an hour if I take this away, go to algofactory.tech, zap the QR code, top right-hand side of the screen, and we will go ahead and, have you in there. It's extremely cheap. It's like less than a bottle of water a day. It's $49.99 a month. And we teach you how to trade. We teach you how to build your own trading method. And we teach you what's going on in the world, in the finance world, from the 50,000 foot view via the Guerilla provides us that really nobody else can, or let's just say nobody else does. algofactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. Don't forget.
Join us or die.